Welcome to 2019. Time to get organised. So I'm going to be doing loads of videos this year on my channel. We're going to be speed cleaning together, and I'm going to be showing you some tips and tricks on how I keep my home organised. So first things first, and that is I am going to show you how I clean out my fridge. Your fridge may sound like a real simple task, and actually it is, but there are loads of tips and tricks on how to keep your fridge clean and fresh all year round. Most importantly, how to keep it organised so you know what you've got in there. So let's get into the video. Come into my kitchen and help me clean out my fridge. It's back to school and work for our family this week, so the fridge is crammed full of packet foods because that's the easiest way for me to shop when we have such a busy schedule going on. I'm going old school and I'm going to clear out the fridge with some diluted bleach in really hot water. I've planned on starting at the bottom of the fridge and emptying the grocery trays. These are usually filled with milk and drinks, and the other tray is filled with vegetables and fruit. So I'm going to take them out and let them soak in boiling hot water, and I'll give them a good scrub. But whilst I'm at it, I'll check the date on the veg and see what needs to be kept or thrown out or recycled. Next, I'm going to soak a sponge in the bleached water. I'm wearing gloves for this because my hands and bleach don't go down too well. I'm going to clean out the bottom of the fridge, making sure I get in all the nooks and crannies and all those small air vents. That's really important to stop any germs or anything festering inside of there. And I'm going to make sure that I clean around the rim of the fridge, and after that I'm going to wipe it down so I haven't got any bleach left over in the nooks and crannies, and it just is much better to handle when it's dry and you know nothing's going to drip on the food that's already in there. Check the temperature of the fridge whilst you're there and make sure it's on the correct setting. So whilst I've got you with me today, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I will be doing weekly videos. I'm going to try, I promise. We've got lots of changes happening in the house this year, so there'll be a bit of DIY, a bit of home improvement, and let me know if you have a channel also, because I'd love to come and check you out. I'm going to start on the first shelf now in the fridge. It's a glass shelf, and I'm so embarrassed about the way everything is packed inside this fridge, but we've all got a fridge like this, so I'm not going to hide it. I'm going to go through the dates and see what needs keeping and just look at some meal plans again. This is a mini clipboard I got from Amazon. Sometimes I use it when I host dinner parties because they're really nice for displaying menus, especially in the summer. But whilst I'm cleaning out the fridge, I'm looking at the food I've got and I'm going to write my meal plan down for the week. After I've done this, I can stick this on the fridge, and then we know what we're having for lunch because we both work from home, and we also know what we're having for dinner, and nothing will go to waste. By noting a menu in advance, this helps us to maintain a healthy diet. I'm going to stick this to the front of the fridge so I know what's inside and I know our menu plans for the week. I sometimes use plastic containers to house things like cheese and fruit when they're loose on their carton, so anything that was in the fridge is going to be emptied, put into the waste disposal, and then run through the dishwasher. Tackle now this first glass shelf. It's really dirty and crappy and it just needs a good soak. At the same time, I'm going to check my settings inside the fridge. This glass shelf just pulls out, so if you've got one the same, then take care not to drop it or let it slide and smash. And I'm going to transfer that to the sink. Again, I'm still using bleach and I just think that's the best household cleaner. Like I said, it's old school and it works. I'm wiping around all the gadgets that we use quite often, especially the dial inside the fridge. I'm cleaning the middle part of the fridge now, and I'm making sure to get inside all the air vents. After I've given this a good scrub over, I'm going to wipe it with some kitchen towel just to make sure it's clean and there's no bleach left inside the vents. Don't forget to reach inside the compartments where your glass shelf will slide into. You'll be surprised at how much muck accumulates in these little areas. So give them a good clean and give them a good wipe dry afterwards. My glass shelf just needs a quick wiping over because it's been soaking for a while, but one of my favourite tricks to make glass gleam is using vinegar. I actually use apple cider vinegar because that's what I keep in the cupboard, and I'm just going to put a small amount on a piece of kitchen roll and give that a wipe over. Organic vinegar has already left a gleam in the glass, and actually it gives off a better smell than normal raw vinegar. I'm going to slide my shelf back into the fridge, and that just leaves me with one more shelf to clean. The top part of my fridge is filled with condiments, and you can see here the difference between before and after cleaning of the shelves. Condiments, remember, once they're opened, need to be binned after 3 or 4 days, so even if they are still in date, check whether they've been opened or not, and always check inside. If my sauces need to be binned, I wash out the jar first and then I recycle the glass. I'm quite surprised at how dirty this top shelf is. It's above my eye level, so I can never really see how dirty it's getting. I have noticed it's got some kind of label stuck to it, so when I'm cleaning, I'm finding it hard to get the sticky label off. It's obviously come off one of the condiments, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a small capful of apple cider vinegar. I'm going to put it on my sponge, and I'm just going to give the glass shelf a little scrub in the area, and as you can see in the video, it just comes off with ease. So there you go, we have one really nice clean fridge. The apple cider vinegar will help keep some bugs at bay, and it's really made those shelves come up lovely and shiny. Now stay with me because I want to show you how I load my fridge to make sure that we have minimal food waste and to make sure that it keeps clean. I've actually had this fridge for about 8 years now, and believe it or not, even though that was dirty, I'd cleaned it out just before Christmas. But so yeah, I'm going to show you how I load it and how I keep food waste to a minimum. So I actually pack my fridge in the order that I want to eat. So when I do a fresh food shop, I like to pack it so that I can see what I'm eating that day and that week. So I put the lunch in first, and then I'll put the dinner stuff in. That way I don't have to rummage around. The only thing I have to look for is the veg or the salad to go with it. In the bottom two trays, they're really good. They just pull out. So I keep milk and some dairy products in one, and then I keep all my veg and salad in the other. When I store milk and veg and salad, I always put the newest stuff to the back so that I'm using the oldest stuff first. I really like to take the fruit that I buy out of the packet and give it a good thorough wash. I then store it in plastic tubs because this makes it easier to access it in the morning if I want to put it in with the porridge, or if my daughter just wants some snacks, then she can help herself and it's already clean. Plus, with it being in tubs, it's so much easier to store. So my fridge is complete now. Everything is back in there, stacked and stored. I usually only shop up to 3 days in advance, so then I know nothing goes to waste and I remember what meals that I'm making. If you look in my previous videos, you can find lots of really nice fresh recipes and meal plans. It's just that it's the week after Christmas and I ain't cooking. So the only thing left to do now is to hang my menu on the front of the fridge so I know what meals I'm doing this week. Thank you so much for joining me today and my fresh, clean fridge. I'd love it if you could subscribe so that you can join me next time for some hints and tips on how to keep your house organised in 2019.